and I looked down through to find out where and what could illustrate it the best. And I looked in Matthew chapter 7, verse 15. It says, "Beware of the false prophet, for which comes to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravening wolves." We can have someone that's spiritually filled. We can have someone, or looks spiritually filled, that comes to us and they say all the right things. They do all the right things. But all of a sudden you can see a tail coming out from behind them. It's a little too long for the clothing they're in. In 16 it says, "Ye shall know them by their fruits." Okay, of course, their fruits are what they say, what they do. What they say to you frontwardly is all great and dandy. You know, you're a great person. You do such wonderful things, and they just know what to say to you. It seems to make you to inwardly fill you up falsely. And then you got them that goes out behind your back. They don't even have to be behind your back. All they got to do is turn and show you their back, and the first thing they do is they talk badly about you. They tell people that you are hypocritical. They tell people that, you know, what you do wrong or what you don't do wrong or what they think you're doing wrong. And then you got all this going on, and you wonder, well, how this can't be. This person likes me. I can see it in his face. And what we're not doing is we're not actually looking at the fruits of this person. Because 16, which I've never really paid attention to, it says, "Do men gather grapes of thorns and figs of thistles?" Grapes are vines. Mm-hmm. Would you go in and grab grapes that were in a thorny bush? Would you put your hand? Would you put your family, even at that? Would you put your family in harm's way if you knew that wherever you were taking them could harm them? That's what you're doing. If you're going to sit there and you're going to go into the thorns to get the grapes, you're going to come out cut. If you go in with a group of people that talk good to your face and turn around, you're getting cut. You're catching yourself. Like the rose bushes, the wild rose bushes, their thorns are inward. So when something goes into them, it catches them. They can't back out of it. They used to use it in the old days so you can guard your area. That's the way you kept trespassers out. Well, that's the same thing with grapes and stuff. You're not going to go into somebody that's protecting their grapes. Of course, I don't know how they're going to get their grapes, but then again, they're hiding themselves. They're hiding themselves in the thorns or in the thistles with figs, because figs grow on trees. There's no reason we should be having a problem getting figs. But they're hiding themselves, and they're going to protect themselves. They're going to put themselves in a very small area, going to have barbed wire or whatever around them, and they're going to try to protect everything they said when they're looking at you. But when they're out and about with somebody else that may not be a Christian or may not be walking the way God does or wants us to walk, they're going to be totally different with them people. Whether it be smoking, whether it be cussing, whether it be running around on their wives or whatever it is. And then we wonder when we try to do something for God that it doesn't grow the way it's supposed to grow. Verse 17 goes, "Even so every good tree bringeth forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree bring forth evil fruit." Again, if you're living the right way, you're doing the right thing, of course you're going to look at it as things are going to multiply, things are going to grow, things are going to get a small group of people to a large group of people. But what you got to do on that avenue to the large group of people, we have to watch, because we don't want to bring bad fruit into ourselves. Because as we're outwardly growing and doing what we're doing, the devil's always going to work on us, or that person's always going to work on us saying, "You're not doing it right. You need to try this." They're going to throw something else up in your face, and he's going to twist it, and he's going to turn it, and you're going to say, "Yeah, maybe I should go that way." But remember, when you're turning that way to go that way, that's taking you to the thistles and the thorns. Because now you're going to have a problem. Because it's easy to go into the devil's way. It's a little harder to come out. Because to most people, you're going to have to prove yourself. To God, He's going to forgive us for everything. He's going to let us have our salvation forever and ever. But people are going to look at you different. So the more you turn away and the more you do things that people can see that aren't right, the more you're gonna have to prove yourself to humans again. And that's the biggest thing. That's the biggest problem with Christians. We all look and we all try to do what God does. For every 100 good things we do, that one thing we do wrong is the only thing everybody remembers. Nobody's going to remember that you helped clothe the naked. No one's going to remember that you helped feed the starving. Nobody's going to remember that you took that child out of the gutter and took them someplace to be protected. Nobody's going to remember that. But they're going to remember watching you walk out of a bar drunk. They're going to remember seeing you in a car smoking a cigarette running down through. They're going to remember you telling a lie on somebody when it wasn't true. They will remember. So verse 18 says, the good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit. Neither can a corrupt bring forth good fruit. Like I said, you can't do something bad and turn around and automatically be able to do good things. Because you're going to be looked at. Maybe right in God's eyes, and you may know it's right, but because you did that one thing, you just turned a lot of people. Okay, let's go look at the Old Testament. We don't even know. Christ has been prophesied in the Old Testament all over the place. Christ has been said, He's coming, He's going to save you, we're going to watch out. This is what God wants. But God got to the point He knew nothing He could do anymore was going to be able to save us. We weren't going to listen. We were on a very short leash, and we liked hanging ourselves. Jeremiah 11:19 says, but I was like a lamb or an ox that is brought to the slaughter, and I knew not that they had devised devices against me, saying, let us destroy the tree with the fruit thereof, and let us cut him off from the land of the living, that his name may be no more remembered. What are we doing? We're sitting there. Let's break it down here. We're going to be, as Christians, we're going to be a lamb or an ox. In the Old Testament, they always took the lamb or the ox, sheep, whatever it is, they took them to the altar. They did it. They went to the altar to sacrifice to God for forgiveness. Okay? So, they knew if they could kill us, they know if they can kill us, not kill us in the human sense or the bodily sense, but they can kill us with talking wrong about us, and we're done. They know they can destroy us that way. And it says, I knew not that they had devised devices against me. There it goes. We don't even know what they're doing. We see outwardly, they're a good Christian person. But what they're doing to us is they're tearing us apart behind our back.
Yep, exactly.
And they're going to keep doing it. They're going to keep doing it. Then they said, let us destroy the tree with the fruit thereof, and let us cut him off from the land of the living. Let's take him. We know he's going into that bar so he can talk to somebody. Somebody needs his help. He's going to go into that bar. He's going to get him and bring him out. But being that I saw him go into that bar, I'm going to walk right behind him and say, aren't you a man of God? What are you doing in here? You're drinking. I don't have to see him drinking.
Yeah.
But I can slam him.
Yep.
All I got to do is use my forked tongue, and I can destroy somebody very quickly. Very quickly.
That was said this morning too, wasn't it? Uh-huh.
That his name may be no more remembered. Because if they destroy us enough with what's going on in this world right now, if they destroy the Christian faith enough, they will forget the John Hagins, the Jimmy Swaggers, the Orwells. I mean, all these ministers that we've grown up with, they'll forget them. Because we can trash them. We trash them, They're forgotten, so we ain't got to worry about them. Okay, and that's what they're out to do. Now, that same one, we go to Matthew 12:33. Either make the tree good and its fruit good, or else make the tree corrupt and its fruit corrupt. For the tree is known by his fruit. So we either walk the straight line and don't put ourselves in that situation, and what falls, falls. But what we have to remember is we're not hurting ourselves. But we are hurting everybody that we have brought to Jesus Christ, or we have taught about God, and all of a sudden we're showing them we do this, and then they lose. How many times have we saw throughout Jimmy Swaggart, for instance? He did that thing back in the 80s.
Yep.
We all knew about it. They caught him. They just couldn't leave it alone because Jimmy Swaggart was big.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's because people put him on that pedestal.
Exactly. He was huge. Jimmy Swaggart was the man, and we all know it.
Oh, yeah.
First thing the devil did, he knew. You get Jimmy, you get the woman, not blaming her. She says to Playboy, Playboy says cool, takes pictures, the whole thing, and it just blows out of proportion.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy Swaggart has never been the same again.
Oh, no.
And who really remembers him? If you didn't watch him, or if you don't know about him, you don't know Jimmy. You don't know Jimmy Swaggart.
Nope.
You don't know him. Right. Oh, they'll continue to slam his name. They won't let him go. Verse 19. Every tree that bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down. In other words, we cut them down.
Yep.
You cut them off. You don't even mess with them. See, that's what I like about God, because He tells you, question me all you want. Question me. But know that when I tell you the truth, it is the truth, and question me no more. So when you know the truth, and most people out here know, you may not want to believe it, but you know it.
Yep.
You know it. So when you just cut the person off. Say, look, you've done this to me. I forgive you for it. I hope you forgive me for whatever I've done to you. But we need to part ways. I need you to come to me. We can't be together this way because things are happening the wrong way. I'm not helping you. I'm not bringing you the words that you need to hear or do. We need to back off. We need to find you somewhere else to go so someone else better than me can help you. And there's only one person, and don't take this wrong, but there's only one person or one deity that is any better than any of us, and that's God.
Mm-hmm.
So if God can't change the man's mind, when God doesn't do it automatically, but God puts the things in front of us so we can see it. If you can't see what God's doing, and if you don't know God's the truth, then it doesn't help you. It doesn't help you.
Got it.
So it says, once we hew it down, we cast it in the fire that's going away from it. We set it aside, we burn it like the trees, and we walk away. Okay? Then it says, verse 20, wherefore be their fruits ye shall know. By their fruits ye shall know them. Okay? So, obviously, not everything's as obvious as peanut butter and jelly being a good sandwich, or bologna and bananas, or whatever you like. Okay? But you know if you go to that person, this is the only way you're going to find out what's going on. You've got to go to that person. You've got to talk to that person. You've got to have a communication with that person. And when that person takes and destroys you again, you need to walk away.
That's right.
You've got to be done. Because that fruit is going to be corrupt until God puts in the fertilizer to make that fruit good again. Okay? I mean, that's just the way, unfortunately, that's the way this world is going right now. We're either going to harvest good fruit for God, and there's plenty of it out here,
Oh, yeah.
or we're going to harvest nothing, and we're just going to throw the bad into the fire.
Yep.
So, I mean, with